Good morning and welcome to BOTB HQ in Parsons Green, South West London. My name is Christian Williams, a presenter here at BOTB. And we're here this morning to judge the latest dream car competition, which ran from the 22nd to the 28th of March 2021. And just before I hand over to the lawyer this morning, once again, a huge congratulations to last week's winner of the dream car competition, Lloyd Simpson, winning not only a brand new Audi RS7, but also £70,000 in the dream car competition. I'd now like to pass over to Charlotte Houston from Onside Law, who will oversee the proceedings this morning.
My name's Charlotte Houston from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company ASETS. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name's Matt Cannon. I'm the senior county referee and footballer, and we're playing again this Saturday.
Hi, my name's Renee Hector and I play football for Watford FC Women, and I'm a coach for Tottenham Hotspur Foundation.
I'm Nigel Hicks. I've been a Supply League match official for the best part of 30 years, and I'm an experienced football administrator.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, a mentor, tutor and observer.
Good morning, my name's Peter Giorgio and I am a futsal and football referee.
Good morning, my name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Good morning, my name's Andy Braithwaite and I'm a football referee, mentor and licensed observer.
Hi, my name is Matthew Ray. I've affiliated across multiple counties in England, currently in Gloucestershire, and have refereed from grassroots to the professional academies.
Hi, my name is Aaron Mendonca. I've been involved in football for over 30 years, firstly as a player and then as a referee.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional player, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 10 individual selections.
Thank you very much, Charlotte. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Morning. So we've got three players in shot, and it seems to be an uncontested ball. The two players in blue, there's a player in the background. We can't see his eyes, really. It's sort of a bit blurred, but he's looking at the general play, I believe. The player in blue on the right in the front here looks to be looking up, slightly up towards the ball. His hair's sort of flopped down, so it looks to me like he's in motion, his legs up, so he's running. And the player in red on the left looks like he's sort of almost coming to a stop. He seems to, his shirt sort of down on his stomach, and his shorts are laying down as well. So I think he's waiting for the ball, or the player in blue, to play the ball, and then hopefully getting some involvement. I'll draw some lines. What I will say when I draw these lines is that we've got to remember we are looking at the center of the ball. So we've got Nigel's the lowest there, and ever so slightly Renee's higher at the top. And if I take a sight line from this player in red, there's quite a big cluster at the top there. And again, Nigel is lowest down here. So obviously we've got quite a fairly big spread right to left, and not so much of a spread up and down. So Nigel, I'll go straight to you. I'll highlight yours here at the bottom. If you could give us an explanation how you see the photo, that would be brilliant.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So yeah, I'm seeing, much as Matt, I'm seeing the the ball sitting roughly between the two players. I feel that in my mind, it was possibly either a dropping ball or a bouncing ball that's coming back up again. And I think it's also more in the foreground. I think the angle of the two players, they're not running directly towards each other or looking at 90 degrees to the camera. I think they're looking at an angle towards us. So, I've tried to factor that into account.
Yeah.
Took a long lead from the red player's eyes. I felt he's looking lower than, actually where the cluster lands. So I appreciate I am an outlier in that respect. And with the player in blue, I think we only really had a view from one eye. I think possibly, clearly I'm the lowest of the group. I think probably the highest one's also a little bit of an outlier to where he's actually looking. He might be looking slightly higher than mine, slightly lower than the cluster.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Alain, I'll come to you next. Good morning. You're a bit further to the right and on a line really in par with the majority. How have you seen this?
Yeah, no, I agree with Nigel. I think the ball is slightly in the foreground. The two players coming from different angle, but I think the ball is closer to the player in blue, black and blue. For me, I think he's looking, slightly up diagonally, and he's about to play this ball. The player in red, I think, is running towards the ball. But to me, it seems is late on the challenge. So that's why. Yeah, I thought the ball was a bit closer actually to the player in black and blue. And I think he's gonna probably head it from where he is.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you. And Peter, I'll come to you next. You're the second lowest here. I'll highlight yours. How have you seen this challenge and what's happening in the photo?
Yeah, I think I agree with the bouncing ball scenario, and I think that looking at the expressions of both players, I couldn't work out if one was closer than the other. So I've gone generally in the middle, but then used the eyes as a guide. The player in red was looking slightly lower, two eyes. Slightly different, but I've gone for the average there, and then again trying to use the eyes of the player in blue there. So that's where I put the centre of the ball. So I was mixed, I was mixed in which where the ball was closest to either the red or the blue. So
no, sure,
yeah.
I understand. And Ari, I'll go to yours. Yours is just above Peter's. If I highlight it here, how did you see this photo?
Similar as the colleagues said before. I felt that it's a bouncing ball, and these two players up front in the picture, they are rushing towards the ball. I feel the player in blue and black is slightly closer to it. Both of them are with the cheeks pumped up. They are looking at the ball very focusedly. And when I cross-reference with the eye lines, I felt that the ball is slightly closer to the player in blue and black. I feel he has a slightly edge in this challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Hugh. I'll come to you next. You're just here highlighted. You're on the right side as we're looking at the photo. Any difference? Anything to add?
Similar to what Ari said for me, I think. I just felt the player in blue and black was slightly closer to it.
Yep. Hello. Sorry, you've frozen a bit there. I'll come back to Hugh when he comes back on a good contact. So Leo, I'll come to you. You're furthest out to the left here. I'm magnifying yours because you're in this sort of cluster of three. How have you seen this?
Yeah. Hi, Matt. Yeah, even though I put my cross there, Matt, I think the player in blue and black is favourite to get to the ball. I think his body motion tells me he's going to probably get there before the player in red. I think the player in red is slightly he's adjusting his position, but maybe it looks to me like he's sort of slowing down a little bit. So
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So I think the player in black and blue is favourite to get to the ball. I do think with both sets of eye lines, I think the player in red is slightly looking higher. So that's why I went there.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Andy, you're right next to Leo. How have you seen this? I'll just magnify yours so we can see where you are.
Thanks, Matt, and everybody. To be fair, I can't really add more to what Leo's just said there. That's exactly the reason why I placed mine there. The guy in red I felt was looking slightly higher than obviously some of my colleagues there. But yeah, basically exactly the same.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. And Matthew, you're the third of this little tight group of three. How have you seen this?
The only addition to what Leo and Andy said is I've looked at the angle of the heads of both players, and I think especially the player in red his head's tilted up slightly, and I've taken that into consideration with the height of the ball. Obviously looking at the eye lines, but I think that's justified for me why I've placed it slightly higher.
Yeah, sure, great. And Rene, you're just here to the right above this average. How have you seen this?
Yeah, similarly to everybody else, I do think that the ball is in the foreground and the player in blue and black is favourite to win the ball, because it looks to me like he's got a good stride, so he's gonna come through the ball. And I agree with the bouncing ball scenario. I think the player in red is decelerating. As you say, obviously his kit is almost blowing backwards, which shows to me that he's trying to slow down in his puffed out cheeks. His eyes are also a little bit blurry, so that indicates to me that he's potentially going very fast, and now he's starting to slow down and change his movement. But yeah, I just felt like the eyes, especially from the guy in blue and black, was just a bit higher.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Now, Hugh, are you back in the room?
Sorry, Matt. Yes, I'm back now.
Great, thank you. So how have you seen this? I'll just highlight your cross here, just on the right, slight on the right-hand side. How have you seen the picture and what's happening in the shot?
Yeah, similar to Ari for me. I think I felt it was closer to the player in blue. I wasn't too sure whether he was just going to run forward and meet it with his head or chest it, but I felt it was closer to the player in blue and black. Maybe partly because the player in red to me looks like he's twisting and turning. But yeah, I felt it's slightly over to the right, nearer to the player in blue for me.
Okay, thank you very much. As I said at the beginning of this, I think we're looking at the centre of the ball here. So for me, especially with this player in blue's eyes, Nigel, I think is a bit low. So to move forward, we'll remove Nigel, and you see the calculated average of the just moves up slightly. And what I'm going to do is remove the lines and then redraw them. It's a much tighter line up, especially from this player. Renes is just the highest here, and Peter's slightly lower here. We've got a slightly bigger spread from the player in red. Again, it goes through this cluster of three. I'll take his second eye, and it goes slightly lower with Alain's. So there's quite a narrow vision up here. I'll put my magnifier over Peter's. And again, personally, I think this is slightly lower than it would tend to be looking at this player in blue's eyes. And I think that average there, obviously we've got Alain outlying over here. So we could also suggest we remove Alain's, which brings it into a tighter cluster with Hughes still further out. So it's really how we see this adjusted with the removal of a couple of judges. Nigel, I will keep removed because of what I've said about the centre of the ball, and it's just really whether we bring the calculated average tighter into the main cluster by removing Alain and Hugh, or we keep that spread a little bit wider with Alain and Hugh in, or maybe just Alain out to bring it just a little bit tighter. So obviously if we do bring Alain out, this brings it into a tight cluster, but with Hughes outside. And if we remove Hughes, we pick up all of us in this cluster, which I think, personally is better from the player in blue's eyes and his head. So can we move to a vote to at first go with both Alain and Hughes removed? Nigel is removed as before this vote, or whether you want to see it back with Hughes added back into it. And if I do that, we'll see again the average it takes Q into consideration, but obviously outside the main cluster. I will say that Alain's obviously further away, and it may be that we decide to keep Hughes in because of Alain's choice being much further to the right. Does that make sense to everybody, I hope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take them all three of the choices that I've mentioned removed. Renee, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, I like the average as it is now.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Nigel. I know I've removed you.
Yeah, that's fine. I was the outlier in that. Yeah. I mean, I do feel that the policy we have is that we try and get a good cluster with everybody within the circumference of the circle there. So I would support it as it is.
Okay. Fine. Hugh.
Yeah, I agree. I'm happy as it is.
Okay. Thank you, Peter.
Yes, as is.
Yeah. Thank you, Matthew.
I would actually have kept Hugh in. I think it looks good, slightly moved, but yeah, that's my view.
Okay. Thank you. Leo.
Yeah, I prefer it with you not in.
With you not in. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy.
I would have kept Hughes in.
Hughes in. Okay. Harry.
Without the three mentioned.
Thank you. And lastly, Alain.
Yeah, I would have kept Hugh in.
Yeah, good, fine. Okay. So looking at it, I personally think that I would have kept Hugh in myself as well. So that leaves us 4 with Hugh in and 6 without. So good discussion, everybody. Thank you very much. So Charlotte, after a good debate, we decided to progress forward with Nigel, Alain, and Hughes' choices removed, and we are going to go with the computer's calculated average as shown.
Thank you, judges. If you are happy with that, then please can you click submit? Thank you. Thank you, judges. The coordinates selected are 2, 2, 3, 2, 8, 1, 7. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company assets to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.